Good afternoon, students. So today we are going to see implementation of KNN algorithm. Okay, so I will start my Anaconda Jupyter notebook. So let's create a new notebook. So this is, I think, fifth lab based on KNN, and I will be using Iris dataset. Okay, so the aim is classification using KNN on Iris dataset. Okay. Let us decide. So I'm going to use Iris dataset. So I will be observing the data, and then if required, I have to do feature scaling, right? So I will be observing the values. So yesterday we talked about data normalization, also known as feature scaling. Okay, so we'll see the data present in this data set. If scaling is required, we have to do it. Then next thing, I will be splitting my data into training and testing. So we have to do splitting. Then I will be plotting the accuracy score for various values of k. Okay, so we have seen the effect of k value. So for the smaller value of k, there will be a effect of noise, right? So we will be calculating the accuracy score for various k values, and we will be plotting that. So this is my planning for this lab. So let us start. So first we have to read the Iris dataset. That we have already done in the previous lab. So I will copy that code from that notebook. So I have this iris.data file. Okay, so I will copy this. So I will be reading that. So insert cell below. So using this read underscore CSV function, I am reading that file and I am printing the data frame. Okay, so let us see. Yes, so we have total 4 features in that data set, and this is the output label. Okay, this is the class of that flower, right? So we have 3 classes and total 150 records. But we have observed one thing, here the column names are missing. So for that we have manually added the column names. So let us add that also. Okay, so in this data frame I am adding the column names. So we have sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and the class. Okay, now my data frame is looking like this. Okay, total 150 records are there, 150 records and 5 columns. Then we know that we have to split this data set into 2 parts. The first 4 parameters are my input attributes, and this is my output. We generally call input attributes as capital X. This is my capital Y. Okay, so for that what I am doing, from the data frame, entire data frame, I am dropping the class column. Okay, so if class column is gone, that means that will be the input attributes. So that I am storing in X. This axis 1 represents, axis 1 means column, right? So column will be deleted and you are getting input attributes. Then similarly you want output attributes, which is present in the class column. You copy that. So we need this code also. So let's copy that. Yes. Okay, now we have X. So let me print X. So see, 150 rows are there and 4 columns. Okay, so these are my input parameters and this is my y. Okay, the output labels. There are 3 classes. Okay, so I have my data. Now what I have to do, so we have read the iris data set, then we have to decide about the feature scaling. Okay, so if you remember the yesterday's example, we have seen that one attribute may have more impact on the final distance, right? So in order to nullify that effect, what we can do, we can scale the attribute in same range. Okay, so just let us observe what data we have. So what I will do, so I have sepal length. Let's find out the mean value which is present there, mean in my x. Okay, so this function will give me the mean value in that column. This is 4.3, and if I print the max value, that will give me the range of that attribute, 7.9. Similarly, and we are seeing less range for petal length, see 1.4, 1.3. So let us see the range of this attribute. So I have a function called mean. Mean on what? Mean on my x और x का एक row, right? Sorry, column. Bracket complete. This is the mean value present in petal length, and similarly print the max value. So this process is known as data analysis, right? Okay, so max is 6.9. Okay, for this column also we have a greater range, right? Okay, from 1 to 6.9. Okay, here 4.3 to 7.9. Okay, and what about the last one, 0.2? Let us observe this attribute also. Mean of x square bracket, okay, x capital X, mean is 0.1. okay, similarly max value, max, sorry, (2.5). Okay, so its range is somewhat less, right? Okay, so this attribute petal length will have more impact because its range is high, right? Okay, so what we will do, we'll scale each of this attribute in one range, let's say 0 to 1. Okay, so we have to do feature scaling, so we should know the library for that, right? So remember, the library for that is mean max scaler. Okay, so search for that in scikit-learn. Okay, so this is again a pre-processing task. Okay, so it is under sklearn.p processing. Go there and see, transform the feature by scaling each feature to a given range. Okay, so we want this only, right? Okay, and we have planned to scale it in 0 to 1 range, right? Okay, and see the example. So here we have 2 column data. Okay, so this is first row, second row, third row, and fourth row. See, they have applied the min max scaler with default values. Default range is 0 to 1. See, default is 0 to 1. See, default 0 1. Okay, now see the effect. Now what happens in scaling? The minimum value, the mean value in that column will be assigned to 0. So here see the first column, -1, -0.5, 0 and 1. Okay, so the least value will get 0 and the highest value, which is 1 here, will get 1. Okay, see the second column. So we have 2, 6, 10 and 16, 18. 2 is assigned to 0, 18 is assigned to 1, and other remaining values will get scaled accordingly. Okay, so see, the 6 is mapped to 0.25, 10 is mapped to 0.5. Okay, and as we can observe, the range of first column is different and the range of second column is different. Now they are in same range. Okay, now they are comparable. So same thing we want to do for our example. Okay, so let us copy this. So we are interested in this min max scalar. Okay, so we are using min max scalar. Create object, we don't need this. Okay, so scalar object is created, then scalar dot fit transform is the function. Okay, they have used fit, but we have fit transform function, so I am using fit transform. And provide the data, and we will get, are you getting the concepts? What I have done, I have observed the data. I have seen one attribute is having different range and one is having very lower range, right? Okay, so the one with larger range will have more impact. Okay, so that's why I am scaling the data. And if I print this, see, everything is scaled to 0 to 1. First, see, 0.2, 0.1, 0.6, 0.06. Okay, now they are on same range. Okay, now we can go for the KNN algorithm. Okay, so this, until this point, what we have done, we have just gathered our data, right? Okay, so we have the data, now work on that. So now here, is it a regression task or a classification task? Anyone? In case of a iris data set, do we have to do regression or classification?
Classification.
Classification. Okay. Deepali?
Classification.
Why? Deepali, why? Because
Classification is there, sir.
because my output label, which is this class 1, it is discrete valued. It has 3 classes, right? Okay, so my output variable is discrete 1, that's why we have to do the classification. Okay, so I want KNN for classification. So all you have to remember is the name of that classifier. The name of that classifier is the K neighbor classifier. K neighbors classifier. Okay, so we have this class K neighbors classifier under sklearn, scikit-learn. So take that. Remember the name of the classes that we are using. We should know that name only. From the example we can implement it. Okay, so from this neighbors library I am importing this. So create a object of that. Okay, object. So this is my, let's say, KNN object. Okay, and what are the parameters I have to pass? First is how many neighbors I want. Okay, so by default it has 5. Okay, no problem. So I will go with 5. Then weights. Okay, so the uniform, the default value is uniform, no problem in that. The metric, yes. So we have studied Euclidean distance for the distance metric, right? So here the default metric is Minkowski. Okay, so go to the details. Metric default is Minkowski. So actually when Minkowski has one parameter called p. Okay, and when the value of p is 2, it is equivalent to the standard Euclidean metric. Okay, and default value is 2 actually. Okay, so that means the internally they are using Euclidean distance only. Okay, so no problem in that also. So I need not to set this metric. Okay, so it is by default set to Euclidean, so no problem in that also. Okay, so I can go with the default values then. Okay, so the number of neighbors, it's by default set to 5, no problem. So I have created an object. Then what I have to do, yes, and we have decided to split our data set into training and testing, right? Splitting, right? Okay, so let us split the data set. So we know we have this train, test, split, right? Okay, so just copy this code. So I want to do the splitting before this. So insert cell above. So I have, okay, so now we have done the scaling, right? Okay, so x is now scaled. So instead of x, I will write x scaled. Excuse me. So I have x scaled, y is means as it is, then test size. Okay, so we remember that in KNN during training we just save the samples, right? So let us use 50% for training and 50% for testing. Okay, here we are not learning a model. Okay, so what I have done, 50% will be using for training and 50% for testing. So I have splitted my data set into this. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so let us run this. Yes, then I have created an object, then fit the train and test. Okay, so I am fitting my training data. Okay, so let us run this. Yes, my classifier object is ready now. Okay, and I can use that for prediction. Okay, so I will do the prediction on this x test. Okay, and this y test is my true labels right now. So we have splitted our data set into train and test. Okay, we know the output for this test, right? Okay, so let us use our model KNN dot predict and predict the values for my test part. Okay, and this is the prediction done by my model. So let us say call that as y predicted. Okay, so these are the actual true output, and this is the predicted output. Difference in that will give me the error. Okay, so let us run this. Yes, so I have the prediction, I have the true labels. Okay, so if I want to show you the prediction, yes, so this the count of this prediction will be 75, because we have 150 records in our iris dataset. 50% are used for the testing. Okay, so these are the prediction, and if I print the true labels which is present here. Okay, so first class का है iris versicolor. Yes, correct. Iris setosa, right? Then next is virginica, right? So you can check the output manually, or I can use. So if you remember our first practical, we have this evaluation metric. Do you remember our confusion matrix and all? Okay, so there also we give true labels and the predicted labels. From there I can create confusion matrix, precision score, recall score, right? So let us copy this code, and I have 3 labels. Okay, so this one will work for us. So copy this. I don't need this. True labels are under test. Okay, so prediction is okay. Prediction labels I don't have numerical labels. I have the labels. These are my labels: versicolor, setosa and virginica. Okay, versicolor, setosa and virginica are my labels. I think done. Okay, so let us run this. Yes. Okay, so the score that I am getting is accuracy score is 0.98. Okay, got the concept? So what we have done, first the important step is the decision about whether to go for the feature scaling or not. Okay, so you have to observe the data. So by using this mean max simple analysis, we observed that the ranges of the different columns are different. Okay, so we wanted to scale it in the same range 0 to 1. That's why I have used mean max scaler. Then we have splitted our dataset into training and testing. Train your model on the training set, okay, and then utilize the trained model for the testing. Okay, so this is the regular steps that we follow, right? And then, so these are my predicted values, these are my true values. So compare them using confusion matrix, precision score, recall score, right? So accuracy score that I am getting is 0.98. Okay, so now one thing is remaining. We want to plot a graph for various values of k. Okay, so what I can do, I will take this part. So I have my k neighbors. Okay, I will work on the entire set. I will not split. Let us utilize the entire set. What I can do, for I in range, initially my k value should be 1, that's why I am going from 1 to, let's say, 51, 151. Why? Because there are 150 samples. I will create the object, and this time I will be using the parameter n neighbors. Okay, and that I will set to I value. Okay, so now my I is going from 1 to 150. Okay, so when I equals to 1 means consider only one neighbor. When I equals to 150, consider all the neighbors. Okay, so I is varying from 1 to 150. I have the object, fit it on the data, and then knn dot predict for the entire data. This is my y underscore prediction. Okay, and then I'll be calculating the accuracy score. Okay, this will, okay, so I have to store in a list. I will create an empty list and score dot append. Okay, so append the score for every run. Okay, it is simple, right? I have created object, I have fitted the data, then I am calling the predict function to predict the values. Okay, then I am comparing the, so this time the true labels are in y. Okay, y are the true labels, y predicted are the predicted labels. I am appending the scores. Okay, so yes, I will be getting a scores. Okay, then let us, okay, final step is plotting. So the scores are here in this score, right? Okay, so import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt dot plot. Okay, on x-axis we want k values. Okay, so for that use this one, right? 150 values लिए ना, so इतने लगेंगे. And then on the x-axis, okay, and then plt dot show, and we will observe the effect of k value. See, for the smaller values of k we have near about 100% accuracy. Okay, as you are incrementing the k value, the accuracy score is decreasing. Okay, and generally the trend in KNN, 1 minute to get capture. So this is the pattern that we have observed for iris dataset, but it is observed that in KNN the general trend in accuracy score is like this. Okay, so with the increase in k, initially the accuracy increases and then it goes on decreasing. Okay, so general pattern is like this, but for this data set, okay, for the lower values of k we are getting the best result, and then we have the similar pattern, okay, of decrease in the accuracy. See, right? Okay, so any doubt? Okay, so take a screenshots. This is the first part, reading the data from the CSV file. Done. Then this is the analysis part. Done. Then scaling and splitting. Done. Next is the plotting. Sorry. Done. And the final, the plotting part. I can add the plot elements, graph elements like x-axis, y-axis, the graph title. Okay, so this, using this class we have done the classification using KNN. So similarly we have the regressor. So if you go down, you can get a link for regressor. The name of that class is KNeighbors regressor. Okay, so this is a classifier, KNeighbors classifier. Similarly we have KNeighbors regressor. Okay, so we'll stop here. If you have any doubt, you can stay back.